In June 1999, Veliki Novgorod celebrated its 1140-year anniversary. The celebrations were full of significant events, but we will focus on one of them only.
Мы благодарим всех, кто принял участие в реставрации нашей святыни.
The finishing documents of the restoration works on Nicolo Dvorishensky Cathedral were signed. This cathedral appeared on the trade side of Novgorod in the beginning of the 12th century. It was the second temple which was made in stone. During the 9 centuries of its existence, the building has suffered over a dozen times from large fires, but each time it was restored.
К началу реставрации в памятнике происходили обширные деформации, хотя начались они достаточно рано, но к концу 90-х годов, в общем-то, уже приняли катастрофическое состояние. В первую очередь нужно было восстановить несущее состояние фундаментов, восстановить внутристенные и воздушные связи, которые удерживали памятник от разваливания на 4 стороны. На реставрацию потребовалось порядка $800 000. Если бы Союз новых немецких городов не начал финансировать реставрацию этого храма, то возможно, что памятник мы бы просто утеряли.
Architects attempted to restore the initial appearance of the St. Nicholas Cathedral. The restoration of the monument was preceded by a large scientific and research work of many scientists. Another monument also requiring the careful attitude of Novgorod dwellers are the unique natural landscapes of the city. During the transition to market economy, the city planning system was reformed. The results came out like this: a system of regulation of land use and building on the basis of legal zoning, a uniform city cadastre system, and an advanced system of taxation of real estate objects. The former system of regulation and building was based on general plans within the framework of the centralized state planning. The realization of these plans was characterized by lag and distortion of the territorial development. Industrial, municipal and warehouse areas in the city occupy, for example, an area twice as large as the optimum territory. In the market economy, when land acquires tangible value, the new principles of regulation of land use and building become vital. Now the general plan is only a preparatory stage in the city planning system. The legal zoning map and the rules of land use and construction are now the right establishing documents. The old city planning was very traditional and rigid. The construction system today is regulated and also flexible, where cultural and natural heritage are both taken into account. According to the principles of democracy, the rules of land use and construction determine the order of decision-making. Prior to assigning land use and zoning borders, a public discussion is held.
Публикуется эта часть в газете, где рассказывается о том, какие будут представлены материалы, в каком месте будет происходить и кто может присутствовать. У нас уже был небольшой опыт по перезонированию территории университета. Были приглашены люди, и был составлен, они оповещены, выслушаны, был составлен протокол, и в принципе было принято решение, которое было утверждено потом в дальнейшем на городской думе.
В свою очередь, зонирование – это юридическое... Zoning represents the legal rules of the new city planning system. These rules are created on the basis of large-scale strategic planning, carefully analyzed with regard to economical changes for the next 15 years. The basis of zoning rules is a set of legal regulations and maps. Each type of zone has a separate package of rules with specific characteristics and restrictions. The system is simple and clear. The advantages are obvious. The legal situation is settled where the site owner develops projects and performs the construction. Besides, there's the public real estate market with clear mechanisms of approval systems. And as a consequence, the investment activity is growing, as the risk of investments in real estates is reduced.
Of course, the fact that Novgorod Oblast had a very favorable tax regime for foreign investors was an important part. And one of those factors was the land reform that they have put through in the Novgorod Oblast, which is, compared to many parts of Russia, very constructive, very progressive.
Speaking about the progressive character of innovations of the authorities of Veliki Novgorod, it's necessary to note the fact that they are the first in Russia to start the work for creation of the land and city planning cadastres. The municipality experts had the original experience of creation and maintenance of the land cadastre already in the beginning of the 1990s. In 1989, the first democratically elected representative power body adopted the decision concerning the creation of the city land cadastre. The work on its creation continued for 5 years. As a result, the municipality managed to set up the system of accounting and controlling in the area of land use and to achieve a high percentage of payments. For example, in 1999, the share of land payments constituted 8% of the sum of the total income of the city. The average in Russia is 4 times lower. The successful experience of maintenance of the land cadastre encouraged the city administration to take decisions about the creation of the city planning cadastre. The system of legal zoning became the ideological basis for this work. The city planning cadastre is maintained by the Committee for Architecture, City Planning and Construction. The land cadastre is maintained by the Land Resources and Land Use Committee. The Cultural Heritage Cadastre is maintained by the Cultural Committee, and so forth.
Все эти данные земельного кадастра, благодаря тому, что они заложены в систему, геоинформационную муниципальную систему, теперь используют все учреждения, муниципальные учреждения, все комитеты, которые, еще раз говорю, принимают участие в управленческих решениях.
In 1995, the efficiency of these actions were appreciated by the Russian government. Novgorod became a place for experiments on taxations of real estates.
Новгород стал местом проведения эксперимента по налогообложению недвижимости.
The result of these experiments was that different taxes regarding property was replaced by one consolidated tax, the real estate tax. The assessed market value of objects is the basis of this tax. On January the 1st, in the year of 2000, the realization of the experiment started. All stages of the experiment are much discussed in the local mass media. Active involvement of citizens in public life is a basic condition for the development of democracy in Russia today. Traditions and the psychology of former authoritarian systems hamper the progress of democratic reforms. Still, there is a lack of understanding between the local and the federal authorities, as well as between the local authorities and the population. But activities of the authorities and public organizations are aimed at solving these problems and finding ways to achieve a sustainable city development.